sponsored by the Adams Board. Adams Board, where if you are have addiction to drugs, you call the Adams Board to get help. Also, Ohio City barbecue tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. I was on here 2 weeks ago on the Lake Effect Theory. Shout out to Lake Erie Theory. Shout out to Brandon X. Bell talking about some subjects about the vaccination. Listen, I know there's been beef between NBA players like Kyrie Irving and Andre Wiggins and other people about the vaccination. Please get vaccinated. I'm not asking you or telling, I'm just asking, if you have listen, I don't want to hear no crackhead talking about, I don't want to get vaccinated, but you was smoking crack. That's stupid to me. I'm just saying. All right. So number one thing that I want to get off my chest, and I just want to send a couple of prayers to Maggie Bradley, the wife of author Tito M. Bradley, who passed away suddenly this past week. The Facebook world and the world of authors were shocked. I saw Tito M. Bradley at the open mic night. Shout out to Carl and Eric at Warren for featuring him. And rest in peace to the family of Tito. Rest in peace, Tito. You are inspiration as far as that. I had him on the show like a month ago, and a month to a month and a half ago, and he was a very great interview. He was a very great guest. He was a inspiration as far as writing books. Pretty much to support the family. I'm sure that Tito has books on Amazon. Please go support African American art. Also, to the family of the Coleman family, the mother of Kylan Coleman Bray, Kylan Coleman, Superwoman, the playwright. She lost her mom, so sending prayers out to you, Kylan, and to your family and to the friends of her mother. Also, just sending out a prayer to everybody who's been ill. Also to Anna Maria Cora, who lost her mom. It's a lot of, sending prayers out to you and those who lost loved ones. It's too much of a list to name and things of that nature. So, the other stories so let's get into this. The other stories are, Cleveland Pastors SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference, has been protesting Sherwin-Williams for their lack of diversity as far as the African American people getting jobs, as far as carpenters and other construction workers. So keep up the fight, put pressure on Sherwin-Williams so they can include everybody, including African American people that need work, that need jobs, that need careers. And Sherwin-Williams has been long, called out for its racism and prejudice against those African American contractors. So I was downtown. A couple of mayoral endorsements. I'll get to those later, but right now I'm just going to get into what the first subject is. R&B singer, entertainer, R. Kelly, real name Robert Sylvester Kelly, was found guilty on all counts in a federal court in New York for molestation, rape, kidnapping, human trafficking, racketeering, and pretty much all kinds of ill stuff. Let me just reiterate before I start my diatribe here. I was a listener of R. Kelly. As long as I'm on Headlines and Headaches on this station or any other station, I will no longer play R. Kelly's music. I don't care how dope it is. And to give credit, it's some dope music. He made some fantastic songs, that go through our African American music. I'm not D.L. Hughley. D.L. said that I can listen to R. Kelly. After all the irreprehensible things that he's done, I can no longer bring myself to listen to R. Kelly's music, period. The man is a pedophile. You want to separate the man from the music. It's hard for people to separate celebrity from the reality. Let me just explain the reason why I'm not going to do that. We worship celebrities for far too long. Now, is there a conspiracy or is there an injustice in the injustice system against African American people? Yes, there is. Do African American people get justice sometimes if they are the victim of crime? No, they don't. Are black people innocent until proven guilty in the justice system? No, they're not. Most of the time, they're not. This does not apply to R. Kelly. Does not apply to him. This man was guilty. He's been doing it for over a while. He should have been arrested in 2008, 2005, whenever he was caught. And for those who say that the parents, listen, R. Kelly was on trial. The parents weren't, of these young girls. And the thing about it is like I said to somebody, we are not doing any victim blaming, any victim shaming, anything when it comes to R. Kelly. We're not doing it because of the simple fact of the matter is that we are not doing it because A, that is not the business, and B, listen, this man has done this for a while now. Remember the interview with Tory? Well, Tory asked on BET, have you ever had sex with teenage girl? And R. Kelly said, define teenage girls. Like, dude, that should tell you right there. This guy is a sick individual. And some of you who are defending him and talking about R. Kelly should be let out to listen so he can make more music. Some of you guys, and this is and I'm talking about to all the guys. Some of you guys sound a little pedophile-ish right now. These are children. And for those who say, well, the girls were gold diggers and all that, listen, stop that with that bullshit. I'm going to say this right now, and I'm actually got heated with somebody. R. Kelly did this to himself. Well, he's not going to get, before y'all play Facebook lawyers, let me understand something. Now, Bill Cosby said, I don't really care what Bill Cosby has to say. Bill Cosby should shut up, glad that he's out of jail, and eat some Jello pudding with a smile, sugar free because Cosby is diabetic, and shut the hell up. Just don't say nothing through no interpreter or anything else like that. Don't say nothing. No clickbait or everything else like that. Cosby should shut up, glad that he's free on a technicality, because his case against Rachel Constrand, he was going to pay out the wazoo, but the prosecutors used his confessions. Cosby said that I did drug these women and forcibly have sex with them. And they were going to use it in a civil suit. So he couldn't be charged, but the prosecutor screwed up on that one. A technicality. Did Cosby do that stuff? Yep. Just like Jeffrey Epstein, who's dead. Harvey Weinstein, who is spending 20 to 25 years in jail, plus he has a charge in California because he's in New York. Let me also just explain the reason why I say this. Now, the Cosby thing was in the state of Pennsylvania. He grew up in Philadelphia. It's in the state of Pennsylvania. R. Kelly stuff is federal, FBI, federal indictment, federal conviction. The government spent time, effort, money on this case to put him away because it was warranted. And if you're talking about R. Kelly's handlers, there's also two people that are facing charges in Illinois, which could range for them because they assisted R. Kelly, and they could be facing 30 years. R. Kelly is facing 10 years to life for each charge. This is federal. FBI, like everybody said, well, the FBI dirty. And everybody said, well, there's some predators around here that, domestic violence predators that stalk women and stuff like that. And people still harbor them. We don't harbor them. We don't. Let me just explain something. R. Kelly was the one on trial here. And as far as the people saying that it's a music conspiracy and going back and forth, if you want to unfriend me now or not listen, fine. Here's what I'm going to say right now. R. Kelly had no freaking business doing what he did. And everybody's forgetting that R. Kelly was with a record company that possibly some of the record execs knew about what he was doing. Let's go deeper. Go into sports. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers Penn State University, the football program. Remember Jerry Sandusky, the assistant coach of the Penn State football team, was found guilty of molesting 40 boys over a course of time in that football program. Joe Paterno, who was the head coach at that time, lost his job because he tried to cover it up. He got fired unceremoniously. Sandusky is still in a federal prison. They arrested the president of Penn State University and the athletic director on the same day. They removed Joe Paterno's statue. The NCAA not only took away scholarships from Penn State University, close to 50, 60 million, but they also took away Joe Paterno's wins. The bottom line is that R. Kelly did this shit, man. He did it. And the thing about it is there's nothing that you can try to play his songs all day. By the way, R. Kelly's net worth is minus $2 million. Let me say this. I spent all my money on bills, and I still got more money in my bank account than R. Kelly. That's minus $2 million. Some people say, well, he hid his money well. Well, the thing about it is like, well, what are the attorneys are there for? There's going to be more money. Houses are going to get sold, cars and stuff like that. Now, does it pain me because I see another African-American man going down the pipeline? It does. Just like it pained me to see Bill Cosby, because basically we grew up on R. Kelly's music. I understand the hurt. I understand the pain because we grew up on R. Kelly's music. That's a section of our lives. Some people's soundtracks go to music. Music makes the world go round. We understand that. But the thing about it is the man is guilty, was found guilty. And no matter how disgusting that it was, R. Kelly deserves what he's going to get. If he gets life, fine. Thing about it is like everybody said, well, the other music artists ain't gonna let R. Kelly stay in there. There's no fine or amount of money that he can pay. There's nobody that he can call to get him out of that stuff. There's absolutely, positively nothing that R. Kelly can do at this particular point in time except face his sentencing, which is in May of 2022. So that means R. Kelly is going to stay in prison where he is. Plus, he's got 2 more cases in Illinois, his home state, because he's from Chicago, and Minnesota. So he's got 2 more cases that are coming up right now. So R. Kelly is facing a lot. And I repeat, he's facing a lot of other charges as well. Yeah, you want to argue with me, 216-772-0500. I mean, the thing about it is, people want to say stuff on Facebook, but you gotta come to come see Mr. Larry H. Are you coming to see him? Like, you can make a comment on Facebook Live. That's what I got you up on it for. And like I said before, when there has been those types of cases, and they're like, well, it might be a conspiracy. No, R. Kelly kept videotaping himself doing these crimes, molesting and raping these women. He even has a tape of him smearing feces on a girl's face for not doing what he says. That's sick. So he going to jail. So right now I'm playing In Jail by Slick Rick on break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the mayoral race in the city of Cleveland, the endorsements that came down this week for both Justin Bibb and Cuyahoga County, Cleveland City Council President Kevin Kelly. Also, the funeral of Frank Q. Jackson, the grandson of current Mayor Frank Jackson. We'll be right back on Headlines and Headaches on voiceitradio.com. Keep it locked. We'll be right back. What's up, Sam, Cher, Joy, Tara? What's going on? Everybody looking. What's going on, y'all? I'm coming back. I'm going to talk about this mayoral race. Bring up something else. Excuse me.
When they pull up a video of him spreading feces on somebody.
FBI found him in his home.
Dang. They found a whole lot of more videos?
Yep.
They ain't even bring up all young girls too?
Yeah.
Dang.
People telling me trying to separate everything. I'm like, you can't separate that. That's your damn mind. Oh, there it is. Everybody got a lot of. Ooh. Hey, Tara. I'm going to shout y'all guys out before I go into the next thing. You know what y'all think. Larry don't shout us out no more. It's been a high-packed thing. I'm going to shout y'all guys out. Let me take this jacket off. Mm.
DJ Danny, aka Mr. Compton, Yellow Taliban, Dan. I'm here with voiceradio.com. It was popping, starting. First checking in our way down through town, went through Cleveland, what's happening, man? Money making cash. I'm out here, man. This is yo, what's good? JJ Cisco in the building, whether I'm in Cali or whether I'm in Cleveland, I'm always rocking out with voiceradio.com.
Mm. We'll be right back.
Five, four, three, two, and two.
All right, we are back. That is Joe with "Ride with You," another R&B artist that you should listen to besides R. Kelly. Before I start, I just want to give a couple of shout outs. First of all, shout out to everybody that's listening to my Facebook Live. Cher, Gutierrez, Joey Kennedy, Tara Jordan, Mary Trevisamo, and Ralph Lee. Ralph, I hope you get better soon, brother. I know you've been in the hospital. A couple other people have been in the hospital. Also giving a shout out to Holiday Ray that is been in the hospital. Hope you get better soon. And also Seat Bolton. Hope you get better along with that. So a couple of people I want to shout out. So Ralph, I hope you get better, brother. Mary, hello, Tara. Hello, Cher. Hello, everybody. Sam still in the building, you know, coming through. So we got a whole bunch of people coming through. Now, before I start with the mayoral candidate endorsements, I'm going to say something about Bruce Beach in California. Governor Newsom, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Thursday signed a bill that would, and let me see, signed a bill that would give back, pave the way to return a stretch of beachfront property in Manhattan Beach that was wrongly seized from a black family. This is called Bruce Beach in California. It was seized from a black family, more than 90 years ago. That means their descendants are going to get their beach back of this black family. Now, what that means is that a property that was taken away 90 years ago is being given back to the rightful owners of the African-American family. So shout out to Governor Newsom about that. And, you know, there's some other bills that are, you know, supposed to be signed in place. There's an infrastructure bill that's going through the House and the Senate in Washington. So it's waiting for approval from the House and the Senate. The George Floyd bill, the Civil Justice Act, was stopped by this coon, Tim Scott, Senator of South Carolina. So, Tim, you are on my death list of congressmen that needs to go. You can, and your master daddy, you can go with your master daddy, Mitch McConnell. Y'all punk asses. Bye. So, let's talk about these, talk about the mayor's race in Cleveland, Ohio. As you know.
Did you hear?
What? What's up, EP?
Last week, they passed a bill for women to be drafted.
In the military?
Yes.
Yikes.
I'm thinking, they know is there a war coming up that they going to need extra bodies? So they just passed the bill. The bill passed for women to be drafted in the military. COVID's a mug. It's taking everybody out now. We got more cases, so they need bodies in the military. Yes, sir.
Yikes. So, as you heard, you know, they drafted women in the military, so watch out. So, more women. And, you know, like I said, like, you know, with all these people talking about vaccines and stuff like that, listen, I took my vaccine because I caught COVID back in December of last year. I was not playing any chances with my life. I'll listen to the scientists, not any hip hop stars. Okay. Just saying. So let's get back to the mayoral race and the mayoral race elections in the city of Cleveland. Justin Bibb versus Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is the Cuyahoga Council president. Justin Bibb is the president and CEO of a couple of nonprofits, was on the board of directors for Key Bank, with a multi-billion-dollar company in Key Bank, and everything that Justin Bibb has done throughout the course of his young career. He's never been in politics. So, like when I reported when I was on here the last time after the primaries was over, Justin Bibb received the highest votes. Kevin Kelly was second, so they'll face off in the general election on November 2nd. By the way, early voting starts next Tuesday. So, because this is October 1st, 2021. By the way, October 1st is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. October 1st is not only Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So there's going to be a lot of pink and purple going around here. So Justin Bibb was endorsed by former Cleveland City Council member Zach Reed, who spent in city council for 17 years in Ward 2. And Kevin Kelly was endorsed by soon-to-be former council member in Ward 7 and former mayoral candidate Bashir Jones, which shook a lot of heads to the African-American community because Bashir always talks about togetherness with black people. Plus, inside track, Bashir and Justin belong to the same fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. So for Bashir to go against his frat brother, who he was running against, both Kelly and Bibb, to go with Kelly to endorse him, and he said it's not about black and white, but a lot of people are shaking their heads and criticizing the move made by Bashir Jones. Me personally, I'm not going against my frat brother. I'm not in a fraternity. I'm not going against my brother for somebody else that I don't know. Now, he said he worked with Kevin Kelly. But Bashir criticized Kelly when he was running for mayor about, leadership moving in a way. Of course, Kevin Kelly is still getting flack from blocking a vote to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour a couple of years ago to stop it from going on a ballot. He said he didn't do it. Somebody else did it. But the thing about it is that you were a part of that. Kelly said the reason why he blocked it was because it wouldn't benefit Ohio and the jobs from Cleveland would move somewhere else. But if Cleveland is the Mecca along with Columbus, wouldn't other cities follow suit? Or at least if you give somebody a chance to put it on the ballot, why would you try to take it off before you get started? Now, what I have here is a list of pastors, African-American pastors, who endorse Justin Bibb individually. Not as a collective group, but who endorse Justin Bibb individually. There's 56 pastors. So Dr. Shelton Flanagan, Pastor Larry Harris, Dr. Otis Moss, Dr. Marvin McNichol, Bishop Clifford Kimbrough, Dr. Andrew Clark, Dr. C.J. Matthews, Dr. Tony Minor, Pastor Anthony Small, Moderator Michael Small, Dr. Williams Myers, Pastor Herbert Gator, Dr. Rebecca Stitt, Pastor Jimmy Gates, Dr. David Hunter, Pastor Mark Ribbons, Pastor John Ribbons, Pastor Walter Ratcliffe, Dr. Leon Thompson, Bishop Ivory Jones, Dr. A.L. Owens, Bishop Brandon Owens, Pastor Jermaine Hutchin, Pastor George Horn, Pastor Doug Horner, Dr. C. Vincent Berry, Dr. Larry Howard, Dr. George Stewart, Pastor Max Rodas, Pastor Dante Smith, Dr. Larry Tatum, Pastor Johnny Twyman, Pastor Leonard Killings, Pastor Christopher Washburn, Pastor Jeff Jemison, Bishop Steve Gully, Pastor Therese Taylor, Dr. Joel Jones, Pastor Wardell Harris, Dr. Benjamin Franklin, Pastor Clarence Hall, Pastor Mark Smith, Dr. Jawan Zakoven, Pastor Timothy Eppinger, Dr. E.T. Cavanis of the Greater Abyssinia Baptist Church, Pastor Christine Smith, Dr. Lisa Goods, Dr. Robert Hedgeman, Pastor Brian Cash, Dr. Paul Sadler, Pastor Mark Polite, Dr. James Quincy, Pastor Darian Shepard, Bishop C. Wayne Brantley, Pastor Lorenzo Norris, and Pastor Steve Marcus all endorse individually over on Arlington when I filmed that Justin Bibb for Mayor of Cleveland. That is 56 pastors. There's a lot more Some have abstained. Some have said that they would endorse Kevin Kelly. But the notable names on this list, and I'm going to bring up 3. Dr. E.T. Cabinets of Greater Abyssinia Baptist Church, Dr. Otis Moss, and Dr. Marvin McNichol. Now, when you have, and Reverend Jimmy Butler, the 4 notable names on this list, when you have those Eastside pastors who want to push Justin Bibb to that mayoral seat, then there's a whole lot of shaking going on within the churches. Those pastors who fell by the wayside, you better fell by the wayside, you better get the inside track from your other pastors who are talking to each other right about now. Just saying. Because they know something that other people don't know. Justin Bibb has also been endorsed by former Mayor Michael R. White of the city of Cleveland and former Mayor Jane Campbell of the city of Cleveland. Other council people have abstained. Those who are endorsing Kevin Kelly are council members Blaine Griffin of Ward 6 of Cleveland City Council Kevin Conwell of Ward 8. Well, Ward 9, excuse me. Palenzi runs Ward 8. Ward 9 and Cuyahoga County Council Yvonne Conwell, along with others. Hey, Glenda, what's going on? So, Kenitra, what's going on with you? So, the thing is that I'm looking at this list, and I'll put it up on Facebook for anybody that wants to see it. But 56 pastors have endorsed Justin Bibb. Like I said, includes from Dr. E.T. Cabinets to Reverend Otis Moss to Reverend Jimmy Butler and Reverend Marvin McNichol. Like I'm saying, I just read off 56 names of 56 prominent pastors in the city of Cleveland that are endorsing Justin Bibb for mayor. So to an unknown, Bibb came from wherever he came from. He's from the Mount Pleasant area, and he was endorsed by Zach Reed. He's also endorsed by Zach Reed, also the union SEIU 99, the janitors union in the city of Cleveland, labor union. Also, ASME has endorsed Justin Bibb. A couple of labor unions endorsed Kevin Kelly, but again, they need not to be named. So, just saying. I don't know who's like the thing about it is from what this mayoral's race I'm looking at. If you want my opinion right now, with all these endorsements for Justin Bibb, this economic guru that came out of nowhere looks like he has the east side locked up. So Kelly needs the west side. And if Justin since Justin Bibb has been endorsed by Mayor Jane Campbell, then he's got the west side too, part of the west side. Kevin Kelly is in trouble, big trouble. And it ain't good trouble like the late great Senator John Lewis. It's bad trouble. From my stance, looks like the next mayor of Cleveland will be Justin Bibb. By the way, outgoing Mayor Frank Jackson, and again, his grandson's funeral, Frank Q. Jackson, who was killed on 88th in Kinsman. His funeral was this past week. So sending my condolences from Headlines and Headaches at voiceofradio.com to Mayor Frank Jackson and his family for the loss of their grandson. You know, homicides are all-time high. And I'm going to give a shout out to Safety Director Kerry Howard and a couple of police officers having a safety meeting in Ward 1 at the Harvard Community Services Center with Dr. and Mrs. Goldstein. And shout out to Councilman of Ward 1, Joe Jones, for putting that together. for the Ward 1 residents. Hopefully others can follow suit. I don't really like to give predictions about races because they can go up and down. But the thing about it is that we must vote. Early voting starts next Tuesday. Just to it's coming up. So there's already been moves that have been made. I already told you how many pastors have endorsed Justin Bibb. And it's like, am I leaning that way? The answer is, I don't know if I'm leaning that way towards Justin Bibb or not. I will make my, I'm going to see what's going on in the next week. And I'm being honest. With any other show that I do or this one, it's kind of like it's still up in it. Like the thing about it is still up in the air. It's still up in the air. But the thing about it is that the people have to vote. They have to vote. That's the main thing. Somebody's trying to knock down the door. The Queens of the Nile is up next after this program, Headlines and Headaches, is over, and I retire for the week. Oh, by the way, the reason that I've been gone for a couple of weekends is because I've been going to see my son Jalen play in Georgia. Shout out to Blazers Exposures 9U, 10U football team, and they are 3-0. By the way, speaking of football, the Browns beat the Chicago Bears and rookie quarterback Justin Fields this week. They go on to play Minnesota. Starting rookie cornerback Greg Newsome is out. He will be replaced by Greedy Williams. But the biggest football game will not be the Browns. It will be Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming back to his old stomping grounds in New England to face his old coach Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. By the way, I got somebody to throw to the Lions when I come back. This is Headlines and Headaches on voiceofradio.com. And this is Bob Ivory, another R&B guy you can listen to besides R. Kelly. There's so much talent. Well, I don't miss R. Hopefully that life doesn't miss him in prison. We'll be right back. Hey, Ken. Hey, Kenitra. I think I shouted you guys out. You gonna bring the lines up for me? I got somebody to throw in there. Errol. Lions.
All right.
Hold on.
All right, coming back.
All right.
In
3, 2.
All right, we're back. That was Stan Edward Moore, Stan the Man with I Can't. Shout out to Stan and shout out to you. Thank you very much. Sam Steele says shout out to you and Arrow. Thank you very much. I'm joined by Ken Dow. I'm also joined by Glenda Lee all the way from Jacksonville, Florida. Well, Florida pretty much. I know it's hot down there. And Kenitra Moore, if I didn't shout you out earlier, I'm sorry, along with everybody else that's listening to me at this particular point in time. So I got somebody to throw to the Lions today. So it's been a long time since my big cats have eaten. Before I get out of here, I got to feed them. So EP, bring the Lions up, please. All right, if you hear them in the background on www.voiceradio.com, that's voiceradio.com. The person that I'm throwing today to the Lions is none other than this punk ass bitch, Ian Cranston. He was arrested on second-degree murder charges in the shooting of Barry Washington Jr., a black man. You know what happened to Barry? That's why he's not here. We know why Ian Cranston shot him in Oregon, in Bend, Oregon. The thing about it is that Ian Cranston shot Barry Washington Jr. because Barry Washington made a pass at his girlfriend. Second-degree murder charges seems too good for this piece of crap right now. I can't stand white privilege, and he's getting the best of white privilege. Ian Cranston, I hope the Lions eat you. I hope they kill your family and eat your family, shoot you in the face. The Lions should take Ian Cranston's face, smash it up, and eat it like little crumples of pizza after a football game. I'm sick and tired of these white punks. First it was slavery, buck breaking us and raping our men, women, and children in slavery, and then turning around, and this is 2021, not 1773, while they lynching us and killing us and only getting second-degree murder charges. Ian Cranston wasn't even a cop, and your girl ain't even that hot. Matter of fact, I'm sending her ass to the Lions too, just because she ugly as hell. Barry Washington Jr. should be alive today because you wanted to fight him, jump him, and shoot him. It's bad enough you beat the boy up, but you had to kill the boy. Now you going to jail. I hope you die. Period. Point blank. Lions, kill him. Lions are now full. They full yet? They should be. Kill his ass. Kill Ian and his girl. Kill him and her and their families. I'm sick and tired of it. Leave the babies alive. But the grown people got to go. Yep, and the Lions are now full. Drink a Gatorade, Lions. Thank you very much. So before I go, I know that I've been off this program and you see me on social media for quite a while. And sometimes and things of that nature. But I'm always thinking about what we should do to turn the page. Now, Mayor Jackson is going to be leaving us. By the way, Mayor Jackson is giving a state of Cleveland address. Check Eventbrite for that. It should be coming up around in October. This will be Frank Jackson's last State of Cleveland address before he leaves retirement. What's up, Lavelle? Thing about it is that Frank Jackson is leaving, so we're going to be turning the page into leadership, into new leadership, not just in some wards, but the mayor's, but City Hall is where with the mayor's seat. Who do you want to represent you? Do you want the same old, or do you want real change with everything else? Cleveland, this mayoral's race may get ugly. It has gotten ugly. There have been signs drawn in the sand already before early voting starts. But you have a duty. You have a duty to make your voices heard at the ballot box to vote for your new leadership. Because new leadership is coming. What do you want it to be in the form of? This goes to the east side, west side, and downtown, especially the east side of Cleveland. You have two candidates. One that people say represents the old guard in Kevin Kelly, and brand new spanking leadership in the form of Justin and Bill. The choice is yours. You just got to go make it. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Make sure that you go to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections and make sure that you're registered to vote, and make sure that you get down to the polls as soon as possible. When early voting is opening up next Tuesday at the Board of Elections, check the website. Have your friends check the website if you can. If your Wi-Fi cut off or lights, hopefully not, to see what you're supposed to be doing. And think about this before I leave here. Everybody is making up their own conspiracy theories about Robert Sylvester Kelly. Sylvester the molester in my mind, R. Kelly. Think about this for a second. Besides making music so everybody can dance and get drunk to, or dance and sing to, or whatever, what has he ever done for the African American community in his hometown or in other places, besides help destroy it by molesting and abusing African American girls? Think about that for a second. Let that rest on your mind. What has he done? Has he given to any charities? Has he helped out anybody? Now, everybody said that he was abusing himself, but the thing about it is, like, after the Aaliyah thing, when Aaliyah was 15 years old, she wasn't 18. That was a fake marriage license. Think about this for a second. Which is more important to you, especially in the city of Cleveland? Is it crying about free R. Kelly, which he should never be freed again, in my opinion? Or is it a mayoral's race when policies can be determined? I'm about to get out of here. If nobody loves you today, I do. I'm leaving you with one of my great groups, Aaron Hall, Teddy Riley, Damian Hall, and Guy in dancing. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'm out of here. Gardner out.